Every day's a blessing, man, right? Every day. I got EJ bringing the water, just got out of a meeting. Let me just say this. I am so excited to be, what's up, Chris? You doing all right? It's great to be home. I remember the last time I stood up here, I talked about what a dream come true it was, and it's truly a dream. It's a blessing to be here. When Coach Narduzzi called me, man, I was just so excited to get this process moving. Can't say enough great things about the city of Pittsburgh and the University of Pittsburgh. So if you have any questions, I'll take them. Thank you so much.
Frank, what was the biggest attraction? I mean, the city, Pittsburgh, the team, everything?
Everything. You know, I was born in Pittsburgh. This will be the third time I've coached here. My father coached here. My brother coached here under Foge and Walt and Johnny Majors. I was here with Coach Godfrey and then Coach Hackett and then Dave Wanstead. My dad was here with Coach Hart. We always considered Pittsburgh home. You know, families here. You know, my parents still live in Indiana, PA. I have two sisters that live up there in Pine Richland. So not only for myself, but my whole family, my wife Ellen and our kids, you know, it's a homecoming. And growing up with, you know, Pittsburgh being the city of champions, the greatest city in America for football, and Pitt is it. I mean, what an opportunity to come back here. And then being in the ACC the last 2 years and seeing what an unbelievable football program that Coach Narduzzi has built here, and to be able to step into a championship football program, just unbelievable. Great opportunity, professionally and personally.
You mentioned a great opportunity. What excites you the most about the potential of this offense?
I tell you what excites me the most is Pittsburgh is a football town. When you walk in those front doors every day, man, you know football is important. It's not like that everywhere. You know, this is the city of champions. So from a professional level, it was just awesome to be back in a football environment where it was really important. And then from the outside looking in, seeing what a great job that Coach Narduzzi and the staff has done building this football program. You know, there's a reason why they won the ACC championship, man. They've done a great job recruiting. They've done a great job coaching. So, you know, it's also a personal challenge to try to keep it at the level it's at and make it better.
When you consider an opportunity, though, how much do you look at, like, personnel that you'd be inheriting? What did you see when you look at this?
Well, I'm so impressed. You know, when you watch the tape, there's good football players here. There's really good football players here. You know, just watching the tape, and I'll be broad in this, but, man, so impressed with the job Coach Borbley's doing with the offensive line. You know, when you think about Pittsburgh and the history of the offensive linemen in this program, you can see the carryover of the guys in the program now. You know, tough, physical, very businesslike. When you take a look at the tight ends, you know, Coach Salem's done a great job with those guys. You know, there's a tight end that kind of reminds you of the old Nate Bynum. You know, it's a good position group. When you look at the wide receiver group, my goodness, what an unbelievable group that Coach Underwood will be stepping into. The running backs, talented. Coach Powell's done a great job with those running backs. Very excited. We are very excited to get a run game identity going here. You know, not that there wasn't one in the past, but, you know, as you sit down and you look at it, you know, we want to get this run game going. So when I looked at the offensive line and I looked at the talent of the running backs, wow, man, really excited. Kind of like when we walked in last time with the offensive line that Tony Wise had and the running backs that David Walker had, you know, with Dion and Ray, and just excited to get the run game started. In fact, that's what we're meeting on this afternoon. We're going to start talking run game. And then obviously the quarterback situation. You know, Nick Patty's a veteran. Then you get a chance to coach a guy that came in from USC. So when you look at the offensive coaches and the offensive talent, it's very promising.
Having coached a transfer at Boston College right away and someone you had to develop a quick relationship with, how much is that helpful when you step in with Slovis?
Well, that's a great question, but, you know, if you look at my resume, I've coached a lot of places. So I've had a lot of experience of coaching new guys, you know, and and we've always said this, the wins and losses will come and go, the relationships last a lifetime. Truly, if you do this thing right and well, you're going to build trusting relationships that truly last forever. Love the opportunity to coach new players. Love the opportunity to put them in a position to be successful on and off the field. You know, as the coordinator, quarterback coach, you got to kind of get to know your guys, not only mentally but physically. You know, what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And you go through the process. So, you know, we've had a good chance to watch these guys on tape, try to get a feel for what they do well, maybe things they don't do well, and stay away from. And, you know, it's just a great opportunity to coach another group of guys.
Brett, the last time you were here, you came into a program with Dorian Dickerson at tight end. He scored 2 touchdowns at the end of the year, then he scores 10 touchdowns your first year coaching.
Yeah.
This year, you're inheriting Gavin Bartholomew. What have you seen from him and things that you think that he does great, things that you're trying to pull out of him to take to another level?
Yeah, you know, first off, Doran was an outlier. You know, you walk in here, you see a guy that was very talented, and it was a matter of just finding the niche, and the rest is history. Right, Pat? You were there. Bartholomew is a good football player, man. Coach Salem's done a great job coaching him. He was a freshman last year. As I watched the tape, you know, I saw some Nate Bynum in him, the toughness, the physicality, a guy I think could play on the line. But then I saw some Hunter Long in him. You know, the tight end we had 2 years ago in Boston College. It was a 3rd-round pick with the Dolphins. Can't wait to be on the field with him. You know, I see a lot of upside. I see a guy that could probably play, you know, when you talk about tight ends, we're going to train tight ends on the line, off the line, in both the run game and protection phase, and a guy that could probably line up on any spot to create the matchups, so whether it's linebackers, safeties, or you split them out wide and you get big on little on corners.
In terms of what the offense was the last 3 years, and even like little things like verbiage and playbook and all that stuff, how do you, I guess, transition in and help the learning curve be as small as possible for especially the quarterbacks and lineouts?
Yeah, that's a great question. First off, you want to build a system that makes sense to the guys. You want to have great teaching methods. You want to keep as much the same as possible. And then, you know, things you believe in that you feel you need to change, you know, we'll make changes. As we make changes, there's rhymes and reasons why.
Frank, Pat said that you like to mold your offense based on the personnel you have.
Certainly.
How long does that process take? Do you have any initial thoughts of what you might have in front of you?
Yeah, you know, you do have a foundation of an offense that you teach. Then you kind of watch the tape like we have the last couple weeks. You know, I've sat down with the staff. We've looked at every position. We've looked at the players to try to give you a feel of what we can do. You know, because we want to be great at things. We don't want to be good. We want to be great. Now, that's the advantage of spring ball, too, that we're going to get a chance to go through spring ball, and we might find some things that we're really great at and we will do more of. And then you might find some concepts or some plays that, you know what, that doesn't fit us really well. So even though it was installed in the spring, maybe it doesn't make training camp installation.
The last couple of years that kind of running back by committee sort of approached the run game. And you mentioned establishing a run game. Will you look to find that lead back with Izzy or Rodney Hammond, or will you still stick with the running back by committee sort of approach?
Well, it's a really good group of runners, and it's going to be competitive. You know, every group, there's going to be a lot of competition out there in each room. If one guy rises and he can carry the load, then he'll certainly be the guy. If a running back by committee has its advantages, because it probably means you have good depth. You know, kind of like when we had Dion and Ray. You know, Ray got his at bats. Time will tell. You know, for me to stand up here and I have no idea, but we'll know come when we play the backyard brawl.
Your previous answer, do you feel like you're really great at anything right now?
Well, when you look at Pitt's offense last year, they were great. What were they great at? And I can remember watching tape when I was up there at BC saying, wow, man, Kenny Pickett's balling. at perimeters balling. The offensive line's doing a great job protecting. The run game was very effective, when the run game was called. So, yeah, I think there's greatness. I think they put greatness on the field last year, and we want to continue that greatness. And then there's certain things we want to improve on.
Frank, I talked to Bill Stahl about the UConn game in '09.
Oh,
and,
certainly.
And I would ask a question about your coaching staff.
Yeah.
You threw a pick in the end zone in the first half of that game. We thought for sure you were going to scream at him at halftime, and you didn't.
Yeah.
What does that say about your coaching staff?
Well, and I coach Pat. He could probably answer the question better than me, but I learned a long time ago as a quarterback coach, I've had great mentors. And, my father and Mike McCarthy, they said, hey, look, when you're coaching the quarterback, always try to see it through their eyes. Always ask them, what did you see? That way you can understand the decision that they made. Football is a really tough game. Playing quarterback is very difficult. So I've always taken the approach as a teacher that I want to put the quarterback in a position to be successful. In practice, we're going to be demanding. On game day, we're going to be cool, man. We're going to be at our coolest because those players, especially the quarterback, they need my help. We need to communicate very well together. I want those guys to have confidence in their preparation, in their practice, to be confident when they step on the field. And I'm not going to be reactive, I'm going to give them encouragement. I'm going to try to help them play their best football. Interceptions happen for a lot of different reasons. It's not always the quarterback's fault. Sometimes it's a tip ball. Maybe a lineman gets beat. There's different reasons. But when bad things happen, you got to learn from it and you got to move on. Would you add anything to that, Pat? I actually coached you.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
The offensive coaching staff, there's a lot of veteran guys that have been around. Have you crossed paths with them in the past, or are you aware of Powell and Salem and those guys?
Yeah, I tell you what, man. I love being around these veteran coaches because experience matters, and I can tell. You walk in that room, man. Coach Narduzzi's put a great staff together. I've known Coach Borbley for probably 30 years. Coach Borbley and my brother coached together at Temple and Rice. Anywhere else, Chris?
No, it was those two.
Yeah, so
they
they've
started
gone back
Rice together.
Yeah, when I coached at Cal Berkeley, I think it was 08, we actually tried to hire Coach Borbley. Coach Powell and myself coached together at the University of North Carolina. What a great coach, great family man. Coach Salem has an unbelievable, reputation out there. Great coach, great person. So yeah, to walk into that room and have veteran experience, what it did for me, it felt like I was walking into an NFL offensive staff, to be honest. Guys that were veterans, guys that were experts, guys that know their craft and are great teachers and very knowledgeable.
Are you an upstairs guy or are you
I'm an upstairs guy. I like to, cool and calm. I like to be able to see it and dial it up, right, Pat? But you have a great view up there, like you guys do. You see the game, you see it well. You don't get caught up into the emotions of what's going on.
Frank, do you see this being a true, real competition between Nick and Keaton, especially with the expectations of Keaton coming in and stuff? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I see it as a competition in every room when a new coordinator walks in. A new set of eyes being able to evaluate every position, not only the quarterback position. But, yeah, I see it as a competition because the bottom line is the best players will play. And you practice, you compete, and, the best quarterback will be the starting quarterback. And we got to find out who that is by practice and competition.
We'll take a couple more, and then we'll get to our players. Good.
How much have you talked with Keaton about coming into this year after such an explosive year for Pitt's offense, one of the best in the country? Can he pick it up? It's obviously lighting it up. And I guess the turnover of the whole offense of becoming something brand new after all the success it had last year with so many returning players.
Well, we moved forward. we all recognize what a great year Pitt had last year. You know, winning the ACC championship, Kenny Pickett having a great year. You know, we're on the, what is it, 22, right? So, you know, it's a new football team. It's a new offense. You know, we got to move forward. We can't look behind. Every day we're in here learning the offense, learning the fundamentals and the techniques. And so we really haven't discussed too much about the past, other than evaluating the tape to see what we have.
I know you'll probably focus recruiting-wise on quarterbacks, but is there certain areas or states that you also expect to hit on recruiting?
You know, I don't necessarily have a definite area yet. Certainly, we'll look at the quarterbacks, and I love getting around and seeing all the offensive players. But that's something that Coach Narduzzi and Graham will talk about and see where I go.
What final, anyone?
DiBiase, he be on the field, helping you?
He will be on the field. Yeah, he'll be on the field managing the quarterbacks.
Right, thank you very much.
All right.
Welcome back.
Hey, it's great to be here.